You want to first apply an oil, both on the client with some effleurage and then also on the stones. And the stones are going to be really hot at first, so you'll want to keep them moving. If you were to allow them to be still or slow on the body, it would be a lot hotter for the client, and it could even burn the client. You'll see occasionally I'm actually flipping the stones. That's another way to help manage and distribute the heat when the stones are hottest at first. So here's just a nice warming friction that's getting a nice little rocking motion with the client. And a little bit of pulling effleurage, another technique using a flat stone just under the palm softly. Not gripping the stone, but just softly under the hands. And this is just a sampling of relaxation techniques you could use with hot stone massage. So it's not a full routine, so you're not going to see the same smoothness between transitions nor symmetry that you would in a relaxation routine for hot stones. Here's some more pulling effleurage with a flat stone, and then as we start to get deeper, you can press the front edge of the stone in deeper with your fingers and scoop the tissue. Here, scooping from just above the iliac crest, leaning back with your whole body. I love to do leaning back strokes since we do so much pushing work in massage. Here again with flat stones under the palm, you can see how my whole hand and fingers are contacting the client's body smoothly, and that the stone is just cupped under my palm. I'm not gripping the stone with my fingers. Here we're pressing the tissues in towards the midline and trying to really lengthen that area as we move superiorly. You'll see that same cupping technique where the fingers are flat and contouring the client's body here as I do some compression with a circular movement. The hot stone is really getting a lot of work done, that heat, so we don't need to use as much pressure. Once that area is warmed up, I can always use a pointed stone or an oblong stone held softly on its edge, and then really sink into the area with some friction here, doing some nice circular friction on teres major, teres minor. See how the shape of that nice pointed stone. And then whenever you're done with the hot stone, you can slide it back into the client's hand. It'll actually be warmer than the stone that was in their hand. It's a nice way to replace and reheat those warm stones that the client's holding. This technique is a nice way to get deeper in the lamina groove. Pressing and pulling up, pressing in, pulling up, kind of one vertebra, one step at a time. First in the erector spinae, and then as you get deeper, you get into the multifidi and the rotatories. You only want to go up to about T1 or C7, since this would not be a good technique to use in the neck area. On the upper traps, this nice compression technique always reminds me of the way a cat kind of kneads its paws to get relaxed in an area, to get comfortable. But you can really press back and forth with your whole body behind this stroke. Really warms up not only the traps, but all the way into the supraspinatus. And then as you do the typical butterfly effleurage stroke, be cognizant of the bony landmarks. You wouldn't want to bump into the acromion process or the spinous process with the stones. And then take that stroke all the way up the occiput is really nice. Some pulling effleurage from across the table on the upper traps. And then this is a great fulling stroke with your fingers in front of the traps and the hot stone under your palm behind the traps. So fingers pulling up, hot stone palm pressing down. Very nice fulling technique. A little bit more of that circular compression. You'll see how I'm using my whole body. Always want to use good body mechanics with hot stone massage, just like a regular massage. Here's an example of how to use a stone on an edge with a rolling technique. Here's first on the teres major, teres minor, and then on the origin of the posterior deltoid. You see my left hand, the thumb is actually scooping out the supraspinous fossa now that that area is warmed up so well. You don't have to be attached to having a stone in both hands when you're doing hot stone massage. Some of your specific work or warming up and palpating an area can actually be done without a stone. Here's another example where my non-stone hand is doing some massage and then doing some lifting of the scapula to facilitate getting under the scapula border with the client's hand behind their back. You can use an oblong stone, a flat stone to really get up and under the scapula. And then again you'll see without the stones just mobilizing the whole scapula. And you'll notice the nice pink flush and hyperemia on all those areas of the back that we work.